Welcome everyone. I'm Amy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and I'm an NPC bikini competitor. And this is my 2025 prep vlog. I am 13 weeks out. Oh, I have to look, I think. Yes, 13 weeks out. Yikes, well, like 13 plus, but oh my goodness, the weeks are flying by. So in the intro, I'm going to talk about the feedback from my coach and any of the changes I'm implementing this week, and then anything else I have coming up in the vlog. My phone, you will see that I had to get a new phone, and unfortunately, all of the messages in my WhatsApp, like they mostly synced, but for some reason, the feedback or like the interaction between Tommy and I for my check-in did not sync. So I don't know where it went, but I don't have it either way. There are a lot of changes. So that's really, we didn't really text about a whole lot. It was really just all the changes that were coming in. So for the third week in a row, there are many, many changes to my plan. Primarily, I do remember that part of it, that he said there were lots of changes coming and that I was going to hate some of them, or asked me like what I thought they'd be. And I said, he's taking away my sourdough. And yes, he's taking away my sourdough. And he said lots of other stuff you're going to hate. But I said, it's all fine. And the biggest changes. So I got my new plan and I no longer get a high day. I also have just adjusted foods and also different amounts on all of my days. And that is the one thing I asked him after looking over everything, was if it was okay to sub out the strawberries in my last meal of my rest day for kiwi, because you guys, I had bought so much stuff. It's hard when you're just one person to get like a very tiny amount of something sometimes. So you guys saw in my shopping haul last week, I got that clamshell thing of 2 pounds of kiwi. So I had all this kiwi. I also had gotten a whole bag of the baby oranges that are no longer on my plan. And I just feel like with all the changes the last like 3 weeks in a row, like my diet plan has like drastically changed each week. So I feel like I just had a lot of food that I was like wasting, and it's fine. I can give away the baby oranges, but I just thought I would ask about the kiwi. And he said, yes, it was fine to swap out the strawberries for the kiwi, which is fine. I actually haven't had, today is my first rest day that I'll actually need to do that. So it's been totally fine. So looked over all the new diet plan. I think those are the big changes, that I just don't get no more high day. Even things like my EAAs, like my intro workout, even though there's no carbs in it, now it's only 7 grams or like half a scoop of EAAs instead of a full scoop. So things are reduced a lot. I only get chicken as my protein sources. No more lean ground beef. I only get 1 egg on my rest day, which is really sad, but fine. It's totally fine. These are not big problems. He also did switch out some of my fat sources for flaxseed and chia seed in a couple of meals. The one thing that I really appreciate on the plan actually is that all of my chicken portions on my rest day and on my regular training day are the same. So regardless of whether it's a rest day or a training day, every single meal is 60 grams of cooked chicken. So that makes it really easy to meal prep. This is like the first video in forever that you're not going to hear my oven beep. I'm not cooking chicken at the moment. I cooked a ton and portioned it out. And so it was really easy. Before I had varying amounts, like some meals would have 50 grams, some meals would have 70. So what I had done in previous weeks was I'd bagged up my chicken into 50-gram bags within a whole bunch of 10-gram bags, which 10 grams of cooked chicken is like 4 little tiny cubes. So that I could just grab, I knew that the bigger bags always had 50, and then if I needed like 10 more or 20 more, I could just grab, 1 or 2 of the little bags. So this week will be a lot easier. Every single bag is 60 grams of cooked chicken. So that makes it a lot easier. Let's see, look over everything quickly and see if there's any other really notable changes. That's really it. Yeah, that's really it. Everything else is pretty much the same, just a little less of everything. A little less of everything, and that is totally fine. So, and no more high day. Yeah. that's it. So yeah, those were the changes. I did also get a couple of adjustments to my training plan. The Dr. Dove, the low fitness or the low pressure fitness doctor that I'm working with for my abdominal control, said she was going to reach out to Tommy and make some recommendations for training, which she must have because I did get an updated training plan, which is great. No more hinging movements, and the changes to my leg day look really, really awesome. So that's all really exciting. Excited just to, keep trudging away on this prep. I feel like, I don't even know how to say it. It's like I feel like I'm working really hard and just not seeing any results this prep, which is really weird for me and really frustrating. This has never been my experience in prep before, but as I've said, every prep is different and this prep is definitely different. So yeah, excited to make all these changes and deal with that. Oh, that's the other thing, cardio. How could I forget? So cardio is now 7 days a week with all 7 sessions, including HIIT. So I have 25 minutes of steady state and then 10 minutes of 30 seconds on, 45 seconds off of HIIT, which I do on the spin bike. So that's the other change. Steps are also higher. That's what I mean. So yeah, so I make those changes. In this video, I am hopefully going to get footage from my posing session. I have a posing session with my posing coach this week, and hopefully I will not delete the footage like I did last time. So I will have that to share. And also the podcast I recorded last week with Rise 41, the Rise 41 podcast is going to be coming out this week. So I will hopefully have some clips of that to insert as well. Other than that, it's just going to be a normal prep week. But I do appreciate you guys all coming along for the ride. If you have any questions, comments, any of that good stuff, please leave those in the comment section below. And I will see you all here in whatever comes next. So I did get footage of my posing session this week with Tori. The angle is really awkward. I don't know what I was thinking when I set the camera up. So unfortunately, most of what you see is what someone backstage would be seeing, not the judges. But it was really great. We worked a lot on my transition from front to back or from back to front, because that's something that I really struggle with. And a lot of what she really encouraged me to do was start the movement more with my hips versus my feet. And that really carried throughout our entire posing session. And that's something I've really been trying to focus on since then, is letting my hips initiate movements instead of kind of moving my feet and then forcing my hips into the movement. So it was really good. The couple other things we did I went over and looked at a couple of the pictures that she sent me, just some changes to the transition on this one. So she sent me kind of what it was looking like. And then after we did some adjustments, we also incorporated some additional hand movement. So when I come from my front pose into my first transition, I do cross my arms in the front. What I'm working on in this is letting my torso rotate more. So when I do that transition mostly coming from the back to the front, I really want my shoulders to completely rotate away from the judges, like all the way to the side of the stage. And then as I open back up, it's really like 2 movements. So I rotate my torso and then move my arm, versus again, kind of not letting my arm initiate the movements, just like not letting my foot initiate the movements. So really more moving from the shoulders and then also letting my hips initiate movement. Something that she does have me do here pretty soon is a few rounds with my arms out of it. And that's been really helpful. And I've actually been using that in my posing on my own as well. Just taking my arms completely out of it, because one of the things that she said was, the arm movement will happen more naturally if you're not kind of like forcing it. So that actually has been really helpful to just really focus on the movement of my hips and the foot movement versus letting my arms initiate a lot of that movement. And you kind of see that there with that kind of rotation of the hip and then moving my arm after. So like a two-step instead of a fling and step. So we spent a lot of time working on that rotation. Tori's just so great. She gives such great cues and such great tips. She has good analogies kind of for everything. This right here, she was talking about like the flight attendants, like having my foot facing the door of the plane. So, you know, just those kind of cues, it really does help, especially when you're up on stage. It gives you something to kind of think about when you're doing your routine too, you know, so you don't start overthinking it. There we go. This is when I was doing my I Dream of Jeannie with my arms out of it and just really focusing on that foot movement and more than anything, the hip movement. So it was really good. It was a great session. I just can't say enough good things about Tori as a posing coach. She's just fantastic and really encouraging. And because she is an active competitor, she's also sympathetic is not the right word, but she understands the mindset of a competitor, you know, and that really is so helpful because I'm able to kind of chat with her about things, you know, like some of the lower abdomen distension that I'm still dealing with actively. And, you know, she's very encouraging and gives really, really great ideas about how to adjust things and how to fix things and all that good stuff. So it was great. All right, so this is an unusual unboxing, but it is very exciting. I got a new phone. I was not planning on getting a new phone. However, my Pixel 6 did an update and apparently there was some battery issue that I've never had, but it did this update that took away all of my battery settings. So the battery just died all the time. I would basically have zero battery left by the time I got home from the gym every day. So they offered like a rebate on a new phone. So I was able to get this new Pixel for less than $100 with my trade-in of my old one and then also the credit that they gave me. So surprise, I get a new phone, which is really exciting. I mean, it's always exciting to get a new phone. So here it is. It literally just arrived. So I got a case. I also already ordered some screen protectors because my assistant could tell you anytime I start prep, I literally just order a multi-pack of screen protectors because I break them all the time. In fact, on this prep, I've already changed my screen protector on my phone twice. So I ordered those the moment I ordered this phone. So I did get a case. And then here's the phone. Ooh, the other thing in this box is the return kit. So I can return my previous phone and get the credit for it. So place trade-in shipping label here. So I will do that as soon as I get everything transferred over. So let's take a look at my beautiful new Pixel. How do I get into it? I mean, I'm assuming that this is wanting me to do something here. Do I peel these? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Did that open it? Oh, maybe that lets it slide out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I clearly am challenged here. Ooh, there it is. Yeah, and I am that person who would like leave all this packaging on it or like leave all this on until I got everything switched over. Oh, okay. There was probably a more graceful way to do that. There it is. That is the Pixel. This is a 9A because I like that it's smaller. So they also make a 9 Pro and a 9 Fold and a 9 like Super Pro. The big difference with and the other reason I really wanted the A was because if you can see it from the side, the camera is flush. On the regular Pixel 9 and also on the Pixel Pro, the camera actually sticks out, and I just feel like the issues I have with dropping my phone all the time, I don't need anything that's gonna cause me to bump it on anything or make it stick out even further. So I'll show you guys my old phone. So this was they should be about the same size. So this is the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 9. They're pretty similar. And let's look at the case. While we're opening things, might as well open the case too. Start off on the protection right from the start. And I got the matching. So I think they called this stone is the color that I got. And I got the stone case. So there we go. I'm already nervous that it doesn't have the screen protector on it. In fact, I feel like I should just put it down and walk away from it until I do that. But I'm going to transfer everything over from my old phone to the new phone, and yeah, technology, new phone, super excited. And we're back. That annoying noise in the background is my washing machine, but I can promise that there will be no beeping. I am not cooking chicken, and my oven is not preheating. So aside from the clunking of my washing machine, it should be quiet. But it is the end of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed my, oh goodness, a bird just flew onto my patio, like kind of aggressively close. Unboxing my new phone, which I've been using now for a while, and it's working well. I've had it for a few days. Things seem to be going well with the new phone, which is great. And posing footage. The angle was weird, but whatever. I have been practicing, and my goodness, I just cannot say enough good things about Tori as a posing coach. Like the cueing that she gives and the way she explains things, and also the way she kind of corrects things, I think is the most powerful, because it helps me realize what I was doing and what I should stop doing. And so that's been really, really great. So I definitely need to be getting in more posing practice during the week. My days seem quite full with all the things I'm doing at the moment, but there's always time for something else. So need to find more time to pose. But let's jump into my check-in from the week. So we'll start off with my check-in pictures. I will be honest, I hate these pictures. Tell my coach that when I'm in my check-in form. So let's talk about my check-in. So the first question, or the first thing, is always the pictures, which you guys have seen. And then the date, how many weeks until goal or competition? Oh, it is 12 weeks and 6 days. I feel like I'm about 52 weeks out looking. I do not feel like I look 12 weeks out from a show at all, but like I've said all along, this is a different kind of prep, so I need to just trust the process here. My weight was up about 1/2 pound from last week. Again, not something I expect to see when I'm 12 weeks out, but is what it is at the moment. Average blood pressure for the week was 110/70, which is where it pretty much always is. My average blood glucose was 79 for the week. Adherence to diet, 100% yes. Adherence to cardio and training, 100% yes. Then supplements, no changes. We did make a bunch of changes last week and the week before, or 2 weeks ago, but there have been no changes since then. My current training split is still my 5-day push-pull leg setup. Have not had a deload week. My most recent blood work was submitted at the beginning of August. Have not done a refeed, so nothing there. Sleep this week I put as a 4 out of 5. One of the things on my feedback from my coach last week was that I was to get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep a night, and I don't think I said that in my intro. That was one of the other things he had it in. So minimum of 7 hours of sleep was the goal. Gym performance I put as a 5. Energy levels I put as a 4. Current appetite, still a 4. My sleep score from my Oura Ring was an 88. I think that was up a little bit from last week. My average resting heart rate was 53. Current water intake is 1.5 gallons, which has been fantastic. That was something that increased last week. I got to go back up to 1.5 gallons. So that was great, from 1.25 up to 1.5. Much, much appreciated. So that was amazing. Current favorite food choices. Well, this is different because as you heard, I get no sourdough. So my favorite food right now is my training day meal 4, which is the chicken, zucchini, strawberries, rice, and almond butter. Love it. Favorite meal of my entire week. My current daily step count is set to 16,000, and I did hit that every day except Wednesday. Wednesday was a really rough day at work. I was stuck at work until very late. So by the time I got home, it was about 7 o'clock. So it was either go spend the next hour walking to try and get close to my step goal, or actually eat and go to bed. And since I'm like, well, I have my 7 hours of sleep. So if I was closer to my show, obviously I would have gotten in all my steps. But as it was a really stressful day, and I was like, I knew I needed the sleep and the time to kind of calm down and get to sleep more than I needed to get in the extra 4,000 steps. So that was this week. Current cardio is 7 days a week now, 25 minutes of steady state and then 10 minutes of HIIT. I did all of my cardio this week fasted. So I am now getting up in the morning, I do 10 minutes with my red light mask. I get up, go for my gratitude walk. I come back, I change into my cardio clothes. I go down and I do my sprints and my steady state. And then I come up, grab my stuff for the gym, go to the gym, work out, come home, do my LPF training, my low pressure fitness, and then get ready for work. So it is a lot. My mornings are very full and they kind of feel like they have a lot jam packed into them. And I have my first pelvic floor therapy session tomorrow. So I'm assuming that there will be even more stuff that they add in. So mornings are a busy time in my world. Digestion this week, I gave a 2. I almost did a 1, but I did bump it up to a 2 out of 5. Current mental state, I put as a 4. And then the extra info and all questions here box. I said, good morning, Tommy. I did all of my cardio fasted pre-workout this week. Good posing session with my posing coach on Monday. My mornings are extremely packed these days. Gratitude walk, cardio, gym, LPF vacuum training, but all going well. I was struggling with digestion this week, obviously. I've been very backed up, let's say, and I said could just be from the reduction in food. Maybe I have unrealistic expectations, but it has not been running smoothly. Let's put it that way. It's been a rough week. So I missed my 7-hour sleep target 2 nights this week, but only by a few minutes, and got 8 hours last night. So I missed it. One night I was about 6 hours and 45 minutes, and the other one it was like 6:55. Last night I got dead on 7. So definitely really trying hard to make sure I'm getting 7 hours. I would like to be getting closer to 8, but I will take 7 at this point. I said I'm really hoping for a whoosh or some positive movement this week. I am hungry, and between cardio and 16,000 steps, I feel like I never sit down or sit still. My pictures are pretty horrific. Love the new workouts. Did I say that in my intro? Can't remember. So I did I did. The Tommy updated after he talked to Dr. Dub. I got updated workouts. Love it. So my new leg day got just a crazy good glute pump from. It was really, really good. Really, really torched my legs. So that was great. Just a couple other changes on the other workouts during the week. Taking out some unbraced movements to replace them with more braced movements, and also taking out my RDLs completely. So no hinging movements, and just kind of changing things up there. So really excited for those changes as well. I will be honest, I am struggling to feel good about where I'm at right now. You know, I've been on prep now for over a month, and I just kind of keep not losing weight. And it's not like this is not a weight loss competition, but I have a lot of weight to lose. And as the weeks keep ticking down, you know, it's compressing how much time I have to actually accomplish that. So I know, you know, based on where I have been on stage in previous seasons, that I have, you know, a good 15 pounds to lose. And now I only have 12 weeks to do that in. So that's getting a little terrifying. So yeah, we'll see what my coach has to say. I'm a little nervous that he's going to say we should not continue, but we'll see what he says. So that's it. That was my check-in for the week. I mentioned, so this coming week, I do have my first pelvic floor therapy session on Monday, which I'm excited about. I am still just hesitant by how unbelievably expensive it is. You know, I did quite a bit of research, and somebody just walked out onto the patio with a huge box of donuts. Somebody's having a party at the pool, donut party. By how expensive it is, it's just, I'm really hopeful that it is helpful, because if it isn't, it's a lot of money to spend. So I am really hoping to get a lot out of this session. And then I did schedule my next follow-up with Dr. Dove. I wish it was sooner. Her schedule booked out so far in advance. Like even by the time I had my first session with her, she was already booking into September. So I don't have that appointment, but maybe, you know, it's maybe a good thing that I'll get this pelvic floor session in before then, so I can kind of start implementing some of the things that they give me. Tommy did take all of the core work out of my plan for now, because we are waiting to see what the pelvic floor therapist recommends as far as core exercises. I do need to try and get in a Pilates session today. So many things, which is good. It takes up a lot of time, makes prep seem like it's going by even faster when I'm jamming all this stuff into every single day. So that's all I got for this week. We shall see what next week brings. I am kind of expecting another week of tons of changes to everything, which has been the last 3 or 4 weeks at this point where everything just gets changed. So we shall see what Tommy has in store for me. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be great. So until next time, wherever you are, the days are getting shorter. I hate it. The sun is starting to fade. So wherever you are, please, please, please spread positivity and light to yourself and everyone around you. You are worthy. You deserve it. Soak up all that last beautiful sunshine of summer. And I will see you all here in not whatever comes next. I'll see you all here next time.